We've been working together for a while for the Interactive and your company. Can you introduce yourself and what your company is doing?
Yeah, it's been a few years now, Dhani? Can't remember when we originally started working closer together, but as a bit of background introduction, my name is Eryk Korfel, and I'm one of the directors at Innovations Accelerated, which started up at the back end of 2018. And yeah, when I reflect on it, it's been a few years now. We'll go left here. And what we try to do is basically help organizations, corporates, not-for-profits, government, with solving their complex challenges through the application of design thinking and experimentation, trying to figure out what are the right problems to solve, what are the customers' needs and challenges and what they're going through, so we can create good experiences. And the experimentation side is really to de-risk that investment, try to make sure that we're not spending too much money on the wrong solution for the wrong reason.
Eryk, how did we work together for our client?
Yeah, it all started with Red Rooster when we had someone from Red Rooster reach out to us and seek some sort of solution. It was during the pandemic of basically offering curbside pickup and in-store pickup and drive-through pickup. Because they had an app, they had a website, and they could do delivery. That was no problem.
Yeah.
But what they wanted to do was figure out how do they seamlessly integrate the option of curbside pickup, which was starting to grow in trend. Your Domino's and Uber Eats and Menulog and all these other providers were able to offer this. And so they wanted to make sure that they were able to meet the demand of their customers and what they're expecting. They basically reached out, and in terms of our core focus, a lot of it is around that user research, around figuring out what those ideas could be, what the solutions and how it's all going to hang together. And in this case, they basically knew what the idea was and they had a good idea of what the customer needs were. And so it's less of that kind of user research and problem exploration in the early stages and that experimentation. So almost somewhat jumping into the idea, but basically we don't have a strong delivery capability. So that's where we find partners who can help us with that. And yeah, I reached out to Rob and we got talking and figured out how we could do this together and make this happen. And the rest is almost history, but it's been an exciting wild ride since then. We've done a number of projects with them. It's been pretty cool being able to see what we've created come to life and be able to use it.
Why do you think this service design is important for a client like Red Rooster?
Good questions. I would say the thing with an organization like Red Rooster and Craveable, they look after a few different brands, or they have a few different brands. You got Auto, you got Chicken Treat. I think they had at the time also the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got that anymore. But the thing with a organization with that is they've got obviously something where they've got a lot of consumers that are interacting with their experience. You've got different people with different kind of scenarios of why they're ordering and how they're expecting to order. And it's not just simply ordering the product and then receiving it. That's what they expect. But understanding kind of how operations support that. The tricky part with this project in particular was understanding, let's say, we're working within the constraints of the systems and the processes that they've got. So for Red Rooster, their point of sale system had certain limitations as to once an order came through and it was paid for and it shows up on the POS, that point of sale device, how do they make sure that if the person isn't actually ready and hasn't shown up in the physical store or they haven't driven up to the drive-through, how do they know the timing of when to cook and when to start preparing and whatnot? The important thing was their understanding how that whole experience hangs together, not just from that customer perspective, but from the business operations and how do the system support it? Because we can't just necessarily rip out that POS as much as we might have wanted to at the time and put in something a little bit more flexible. But it was definitely something that we had to consider is how do we work within those constraints?